morning.
Good morning.
Oh, come on, you guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. That's a little better. As Rich said, my name is Liz DePriest. I am an educator with Brazilian Blowout. I also am a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for 24 years. I have stood behind the chair just like you all do. I work in the salon full time. I work at a place called Caviar at the beach. Been there for a couple of years now, a little over 2 years. I always like to start every roadshow in every class, and if you've been to one of my classes or my roadshows, just disregard because you've already heard all this, but I always like to tell people where I was, where I came from, and where I am now, so that next time I see you all, you can tell me where you are now with Brazilian Blowout. When I started with Brazilian Blowout, actually before I started with Brazilian Blowout, I was getting ready to leave the industry, completely leave the industry. I had lost almost all of my business. What little business I had left was dwindling. I had $16 in my bank account. My house was in foreclosure. And I was going to have to put my daughter in college in 4.5 years. And I was in pretty much a good state of panic, as we all know, because the economy tanked about 5 years ago, right? So we went from days of clients calling into work and leaving work and coming to get their hair done in the middle of the afternoon to, can you give me a deal on everything, right? So I called a really good friend of mine and I said, you know what, I don't think I can do this anymore. I think I need an office job where I have benefits and I get a salary and I'm going to work 8 hours a day behind a desk. And that's exactly what he did. He laughed. He laughed. He said, you can't do that. There's no way. You're a hairstylist. You can't do that. Nobody's going to tell you to sit behind a desk for 8 hours a day and you're actually going to do it. He said, I'll tell you what. I've got this great new product that will change your life. And I was like, no way. I've tried all those products. Nothing's changing my life at this point. I've done hair for so long. How do you reinvent yourself after that long, right? He said, okay, you come over right now. I'll make a bet with you. He goes, I need an educator in Florida. If this works, and if it changes your life, you become an educator. And I said, it's not going to work. I don't like to talk in front of people. And again, he laughed. That was almost 5 years ago, and here I still sit being an educator for him because it was life-changing. I went from $16 in the bank and my house in foreclosure to my daughter's college being paid for, my house out of foreclosure. I made oodles and oodles of money with Brazilian Blowout. My first bottle of Brazilian Blowout, I made 10 grand. 10 grand. Really? Who does that in a bad economy? Now we've got a better economy. I'm making even more, right? So hopefully next time I see you, you can tell me that you've made 10 grand with your first bottle of Brazilian Blowout, right? So, show of hands, who does Brazilian Blowout? Good for you. Who does smoothing treatments? All right. For this class, I want you to forget everything you've heard about Brazilian Blowout smoothing treatments all the way around, okay? Got that? That's my first rule. Rich, do we have folders?
Yes, we do.
Do you guys all have folders?
They should have them.
No. If you don't have a folder, raise your hand, Rich, and get you one. There's an important piece of paper in that folder that I would like to see. Before we can start, yeah, borrow your folder real quick. I promise I'll get it done. In your folder, you have this piece of paper right here. You're going to have everything you need in this folder. Don't lose this, okay? In your folder, what I'm going to teach you today, on the back of this piece of paper, this is the front, this is the back. On the back, in the black, is the original formula. That is what I'm teaching you today, okay? Now, we all know we're hairstylists and we tend to daydream when somebody is boring us, and as entertaining as I like to think I am, at some point I'm going to stop being entertaining for you. And you're going to forget something I said. This is where this little piece of paper is going to come in. Because everything I said is right here in the black. Also, if you're not certified, certification is a two-part process, okay? This is your first step to certification. Your second step to certification is you're going to go home, you're going to go on BrazilianBlowout.com, you're going to watch a short video, you're going to take a little test. It's an open book test. The answers are all right there. Okay? So it's an open book test. Also, when you go back to your salon, and if you've never done one of these before, it's a little scary the first time, and you're going to forget something I said. Put this in your back room, or as I like to call it, the prayer room. Because you all know we run back there and we pray a lot, right? So this is going to be in your prayer room. You don't have to do so much praying that day. Open the drawer, pull out your book. It's right there in front of you, okay? I'm going to go a little more in depth, okay? That's my one thing right there. If you have cell phones on you and you want to take pictures, that's great. Facebook, we have an event location opened up. Sometimes you can check in on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. but turn your volume down, please. Feel free to take pictures. We're going to have before and afters. Nicole, come on up here. We have a lovely model for you today. Her name is Nicole. Everybody say hi, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. I made Nicole get up early today.
Doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often, and she's not happy about it. And then I took her and turned her upside down in the bathroom. And scrubbed her hair. She wasn't real excited about it because I forgot to tell her, by the way, I was going to shampoo her hair in the bathroom sink. So she might not be real happy with me right now. Nicole's hair is a hot mess. And I tell her this often. Nicole, do you brush your hair very often when you go to work? This is what Nicole's hair looks like normally. Hot mess, right? Everybody see that? Hot mess. Love her hot mess of a hair because she makes a great model. You guys all see that?
No.
You guys all see it? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do with Nicole's hair, Nicole's got pretty compromised hair. As you can see, she's very high lift, or as we like to say, bleach. We don't say that to our clients.
Is she straight up bleach?
She's got bleach, she's got color, she's got low light, she's got high lift color, she's got double process, she's got a little bit of everything. About this much of her ends are very compromised, like dead. Okay?
So, I'm real quick, is it bleached on the root or pulled through coils?
She is bleached on her root.
Okay.
She's also had some low lights put in recently, just the other day.
Okay.
Okay? So she's got pretty compromised hair. We're going to do half of Nicole's hair today. If she buys a kit, she gets the other half done. If she doesn't, she goes home with only half of the hair. See, it's a good incentive. Oh, did I say that? Sorry. I forgot to tell her a lot of things. I'm just kidding, Nicole. I'm going to do half of her head during the class. After the class, I will do her other half because I have to work with her. And she might not schedule my appointments so nicely if I don't do her whole head. Okay? There's a couple important things that you all need to know before doing these. There's some tools that you're going to need, okay? First off, we're going to put some really pretty glasses on Nicole, just to make her look even cuter. There, turn and face your audience. Doesn't she look cute? She's even cuter. These are a splash guard. Because we work very quickly, and this is an incredibly drippy liquid, we don't want it splashing into our model's eyes, okay? So we put a splash guard on her. Gloves. For those of you who don't wear gloves when you're doing color and or Brazilian blowout, I encourage you to please wear gloves. You're going to keep your gloves on all the way up to the rinse, okay? Number one, this is an amino acid-based product. Your skin is very porous and it will suck up amino acids right off the hair. The more it sucks up off the hair, the less it's on the hair, okay? So you'll have a very spotty result. Not only that, when your next client comes in, you go to shake their hand, you look like you've been in the pool for 3 weeks too long, they're going to think something's wrong with you, so don't do that. First impressions are lasting, okay? So this is a very important tool right here, okay? Another very important tool, you don't have to have this, but it does come in our toolkit, our applicator brush, okay? It's a comb and a brush. If you don't have one of these, use a color brush and a comb, no big deal, okay? This just makes things a little simpler. Next important tool, boar bristle brush. Does not have to be a round brush, it can be a boar bristle paddle, but it does need to be a wood core. If you use a metal core or ceramic core brush, or as we all love our bioionics, right? It will get too hot, it will burn the product off the hair, okay? Everybody with me so far? Okay, the only rule that I really have here is if I'm doing the shampoo part, don't ask me about the flat iron part. I promise I'll get there. If I don't answer a question for you, come see me afterwards. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out for you, okay? And please buy everything that Rich brought with him because he won't let me go home if you don't.
And even buy more that we haven't brought, so.
Okay, yes, buy everything and then some, okay? So, Nicole, now that you've got those beautiful glasses on, I know you can read real well. What does that say?
A professional smoothing solution.
Smoothing solution, okay? So this is a smoothing treatment. How many of you thought this was a straightening treatment? No hands, good. You thought it was a straightening treatment. This is not a straightening treatment, it is a smoothing treatment. It can straighten some hair, it will not straighten all hair. It's not meant to do that, okay? This is meant to smooth the hair and give you control, okay? Biggest difference between this and everyone else is we're amino acid. We're not keratin, we're an amino acid based molecule, okay? So amino acid molecule, you remember what amino acids are, you guys? Think back. What was that?
Protein chain.
It is the building block of protein, okay? So it's tiny, it's a tiny little molecule. So we can leave curl in the hair, we can leave flex in the hair. We can also let our clients leave and do things with their hair. They can put a clip in their hair, they can put their hair up, they can shampoo their hair, they can get their hair wet, they can boil water, okay? They don't have to wait 4 days for the hair to cure because the molecule's not still setting, it's done when we're done, okay? Everybody clear on
So
that?
they shampoo the next day or that night if they want.
They sure can, okay? As long as they bring their maintenance products home with them, okay? All right, so tell me, somebody raise their hand and tell me, why are you here today?
To make money.
Very good. How many of you think you're here today to make more money? Raise your hands. Good. How many are here today for education? Okay, the ones who raised their hands for education, you're liars. The ones who said money, they're telling the truth. We're all here today because we want to make more money. I'm not here today because I love education. I'm here today because they pay me and I love money. Let's be honest. Okay? Yes, I want you to make money too. But that's why I'm here today as well, okay? So give yourselves a pat on the back because you all are giving yourselves a raise today. When you walk out that door and you take your Brazilian blowout with you, you're giving yourself a raise, okay?
I got a question.
Yes.
Who here wants to have a really big Christmas bonus this year?
Ooh,
This is it, right here. This is your ticket.
we all do. Put your hand up and go. Okay, so let's talk about money then. So there's 34 ounces of this, right? So 34 ounces. Let's say we used an ounce on every client that sat in our chair. Let's just hypothetically, anybody got a calculator on their phone? Anybody want to whip out a phone real quick and do some math for me? So 34 ounces.
From her?
What was that?
With her length, would that be about an ounce for her?
We'll get to that.
Sorry.
But we're just doing a hypothetical so you guys can kind of get an idea numbers wise, okay? Who's got a calculator? Rich, you want to do some math for me?
I have to operate the camera and the math?
You wanted me to stand up here and teach and operate the computer.
All right, so.
Okay.
It's only fair.
That's fair.
All right, ready?
I got you.
Okay, so 34 ounces, right? So if we did 30 applications, so 30 times 275.
8,250.
How many of you want to make an extra $8,250 this year? Right? Easy way to get yourself a raise right there. You'll get more than 30 applications, but if you only get 30 applications, you're still making close to 10 grand on a bottle. Okay? Easy, right? Easy to make a little extra money, so you're giving yourselves a raise. Okay, so thank you for that question about how much we're going to use on her. First thing we're going to do before we do anything at all with our clients is we're always going to do a consultation, right? It's important that we do a consultation. Why is it important that we do a consultation with our clients? Does everybody want the same thing on their hair? No, absolutely not. But if we don't do a consultation, we don't know what their expectation is, right? If we don't know our client's expectation, how can we meet their expectation, okay? And not only that, if we don't do a full consultation, say I've never met Nicole before ever in my life, and she comes and sits down in my chair, and I don't talk to her about what she does with her hair, what she wants to do with her hair, what she takes for medication, does she color her own hair? And then I go and I do 10 passes at 500 degrees. Do you think she's going to have any hair left? Not. She's not going to come back and sit in my chair either. So it's important that I talk to my client and find out exactly what she expects from me and from the product, okay? And then I can in turn tell her what I expect from her, right? Because I expect her to use the maintenance products that go along with this, okay? So, important things we need to know. Do they color their hair? Are they on medication? What do they do with their hair on a daily basis? What do they want to be able to do with their hair on a daily basis, okay? I love the clients who you get and you sit in the chair and you're looking at their hair and you notice the lovely roots and the banding in their hair, the 14 different colors because they never use the same color, right? And you say to them, oh, do you color your own hair? And what do they say every damn time? Every time. No! And you're like, oh, so that's natural, huh? Right. So our clients lie to us. They don't mean to, but they do lie. So we need to know in the back of our mind, might be a little lie involved, and we might need to take that into consideration. I also love when you look at the ends and you see that little bit of highlight peeking through, and you go, oh, did you have highlights? And they say, no. No, I put color on them like 6 months ago. They think that that magically erases those highlights, so we need to know that that bleach is in there as well, okay? We also need to know about medication because we need to know what we need to get out of the hair, okay? So So Nicole asked me before we did this, would she still have curl in her hair? Would she still have the wave in her hair? And I told her yes, we would leave that in her hair. So I know what her expectations are, okay? She's getting, however, she's my model, so she's getting whatever I give her for this purpose, because she's not paying a client. So if she were, it'd be a whole different story. Okay, so after the consultation, what we're going to do is we are going to shampoo our client with anti-residue shampoo. This is the first piece of our puzzle. All our components work together, okay? Don't just use any clarifying shampoo. We sell all our components together because they work better together, okay? If you use another clarifying shampoo, you're not doing your client justice. You're not getting everything out of the hair that you should. You're not getting it prepped for our product to be accepted into the hair, okay? So you're going to take this, you're going to shampoo your client a minimum of 3 times, okay? Max 10. If you get to the 5th shampoo and you're still not lathering, stop. Send them home with a clarifying shampoo, okay? Let them do the work and bring them back in a couple days. They've got a buildup on their hair. And we all know who taught them to put the buildup on their hair. We did, because we taught them how to cocktail their products, right? Because how many of your clients have 14 different products that we sold them? Okay, so we have to get that off their hair. Also, if she's taking medication, we need to know that. Blood pressure medication, allergy medication, things that will dry the hair. Okay, God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, so we shampooed Nicole 3 times, okay? We wanted her to be squeaky clean. They have to be squeaky clean, all around the hairline. Pay special attention to the hairline. That's where the frizziest hair is. So we want that to be really clean. Down the middle of the back of the head as well, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? You guys all know how to shampoo. And rinse it really well. All right, Nicole, now, this is where you get to face the wall. Yay! I know you're excited. All right. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to section our client into 4 sections minimum. Okay, you can do more than that. You can do less, but make sure you're sectioning. Because what happens? Do we ever get to stay with our client the whole time? We have to walk away, right? And you walk away and you didn't section, you're going to forget where you're at. That's not good. Especially if you've got somebody with really frizzy hair. You took all the frizz out of 3 sections, but whoops, forgot that 4th section. You got 12 weeks of frizz. They're not happy. Okay? Another important thing to have with you, spray bottle. Okay? Because the hair's going to dry out a little bit. If it dries out a little and you feel like it needs more product, don't put more product on. Spray it a little. Yes?
I've watched your video many times, and you didn't tell them not to put a towel around her.
Thank you. Yes, don't put a towel. If you leave a towel on your client, it's porous. It's going to soak up
I thought that was good.
the amino acids, okay? Another thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to take your brush and set it in the bowl, okay? Because your bristles are going to draw up the solution into the bristles, okay? Make sense? All right. Before we start, we're going to give our bottle a little bit of a toss. You guys are all going to get a little measuring cup, okay? It's going to have a little mark on it for a 1/2 ounce and 1 ounce, okay? For short hair, we're going to do 1/4 to 1/2 ounce. For medium hair, 1/2 to 3/4 of an ounce. For long hair, 3/4 to 1 ounce. If you have longer, thicker, coarser hair, you're going to use a little bit more. Very rarely are you going to use more than 1 ounce. Very rarely are you going to use 1 ounce. Okay? Everybody with me on that? All right. Always, always pour into your little cup first. Always go 1/4 of an ounce, go back for more. Because guess what? If you poured 1 ounce and you only used 1/4 of an ounce, you can't put it back. That's cross-contamination, and you just poured liquid gold down the drain, and somebody's going to cry. Probably you if you have to pay for it. Okay? So we're going to start with 1/4 of an ounce.
Does it have to sit before you actually put it on the hair? Do you have to?
Whoops. No. Nope, doesn't have to set. Notice I didn't mix it with anything, thank you. Okay? No developer. Okay?
You just swirled the bottle. Make
I
sure
just
you
swirled it.
swirled.
Yeah, swirl the bottle or give it a little toss. You don't have to shake it vigorously, but it is a chemical, it will separate. Okay? Alright, so section-wise, Nicole doesn't have super thick hair, so I don't need a real skinny section. So the finer the hair, the thicker the section. The thicker the hair, the finer the section. Okay? I'm not going to go onto her scalp. I'm going to go right to her root, and I'm going to come all the way down. What I don't want to see, and I see this a lot, listen, I've seen it done wrong more than I've seen it done right, and they still come out. But here's what I want to see. I don't want to see you go like this and then go like this. Don't do that. You're going to miss something.
I can see, I'm sorry.
If you put your products here and go like this and work it in, don't do that, okay? Your bristles are your friend. These bristles are meant to work this into the cuticle layer. Think of your cuticle layer and your hair that you're working on as a pine cone. It's got ridges and it's got holes. This is going to fill it in, it's going to grab on, and it's going to seal it, okay? So all this is doing is shrink wrapping, okay? So think of her hair as a wet noodle. We put her wet noodle in a straw, and we rounded out the cuticle. It's a demi-permanent smoothing treatment, okay? So in 12 weeks, she's not going to have just a root. 12 weeks, you do the same thing again, okay? Because this is not permanent. Don't sell it as a permanent straightening treatment. You'll have very, very upset clients, okay? They'll have healthy hair though. All right, so when we dip into our solution, we're only dipping. We're not scooping, we're dipping with very little product on there, okay? And we're working in all the way down to the ends. You can see her ends are pretty compromised. But Nicole would not let me give her a really good haircut. She let me do a little trim. She's one of those girls. We all know them. We all love them, right? Not really. Nicole's hair is drying out because she's been sitting with a wet head in the back of the room.
So you didn't dry it all, you're just putting it right on after shampoo?
That's right. You don't want to dry the hair. You can towel dry. You don't want to be dripping wet, but you don't dry the hair. No, ma'am. You want that water in the hair because that helps you use less product. It's a little porosity control too. Okay?
It feels like the ends are still dry, like there's not really any product on them.
There really is not a lot of product on because her ends are so compromised. This really won't do much for her ends. Split end treatment would do a lot for her ends, but this is just a band-aid for her ends, really. This can help frizz. It can't really help split ends. Because remember, this grabs onto the cuticle layer, and the cuticle layer has to close to hold it in. If there's no cuticle layer, it's really not going to hold on to it. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this isn't a straightening, she's still gonna have wave in her hair?
She wants to keep some wave in her hair, so we're going to leave some wave in her hair. For some people, this can straighten the hair.
Because a lot of clients say, the Brazilian, it's so straight, blah, blah, blah.
And a lot of clients can get really straight hair with it. It depends on how you use your flat iron.
Okay.
Okay? We designed the Brazilian blowout to be able to leave curl in the hair, but to be able to take some of the curl out. I have a lot of clients that have two different types of hair. I'm one of them. Different hair from the back and the front. I like one type of hair, so in the back we do something different to match up the front. The front of my hair is very straight, the back of my hair is not, right? So we get the back of my hair as straight as we can, and we give a little couple passes on the front, just because. Okay?
Do you use that on your hair?
Yes, absolutely.
It seems like one of the big things too, you kept saying was kind of compromising with gloves and towels and that sort of thing. When you're laying down the next section and then you're spraying over, would that be compromising in any way the old section of the water kind of?
Not really, no,
Okay.
because this is working. I mean, the water's helping
Okay.
keep everything so you don't overuse the product, but the water's not really, I'm not putting enough for it to be dripping off. You don't want to make their hair drip, obviously, and you don't want to be wetting the hair so that it is dripping off. Good question, though, thank you. But she is, because her hair is so dry, I mean, she is drying out faster than I can get water onto it. Yep, it sure is. But you know, you can't tell the receptionist these things. She's laughing. We pick on her a lot at work, poor thing. She did this lovely little haircut on herself too.
Ah, that was her.
You should have heard her when I said, "You want to be my model?" And then she's like, "Yeah, oh, wait a minute, my hair." And she pulls it back. I'm like, "That's all right, I'll pick on you on stage, you'll be fine." She was warned. Were you not, Nicole? Did I warn you that I was going to pick on you? And if you drop your brush, don't pick it up and put it in your client's hair. Except for today, Nicole. You're not the next day anymore. You are not a baby.
Just like
It's just my feet out there. Nicole's like, "I've never been this again for you. You lost your mind." Okay, so those of you who do this already, what did you find was your best marketing strategy to sell these? Tell me, I'd love to hear other people's ideas. Okay, tell me. I know there's a bunch of you doing these. What was your best marketing strategy for these?
But honestly, a lot of my clients don't have to wait for 3 days for a process.
Right. That was the best thing ever, wasn't it? Because when keratin first came out, we all jumped on that bandwagon, didn't we? And then my clients were like, after I got it done, I was like, okay, so don't touch it for 4 days. They were like, what? Okay, did I mention I work at the beach? Nobody at the beach can go around without their sunglasses on top of their head. It's like, that is an accessory to most people, most women. That is an accessory, or a clip, or a ponytail, right? So that was the best thing ever to say to a client, oh yeah, you can go do whatever you want. Oh, you're in the surface? All right, see you. And they were like, what? I don't have to wait 4 days? What other marketing strategies worked for you guys?
I can tell you something.
Do tell.
I did, a lady came off the street, I cut her hair and I shampooed her with the Brazilian shampoo and conditioner. And I saw her 3 days later, she said, what did you use on my hair? Came back and bought the product
Yes.
because the shampoo and conditioner made her hair feel, you know, that bulky feel. It was straight, it was as straight as what you're doing right now.
Yes.
And I said, wow, that is so cool. I've been using it on my hair, which is kind of crack my hair, but, you know, and it's been dry outside.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to tell what it would do, you know, for humidity. It's not going to cure everything, but the amount of ACAI, I can't pronounce it,
Acai.
that may be in the shampoo and the conditioner is, if you get them to take that home, if you could, you know, I've got a curly person that bought 3 products, the serum as well, and they love it. And now, you know, she may come back for a Brazilian. So
That's right.
just getting them in the shampoo is
Right. Well, and forgive me, because this does offend some people, but I think the person who has the best marketing strategy in the world is a drug dealer. Okay? No. Don't you answer the story. You can if nobody else does, okay? First time you ever go to the drug dealer. First time you ever go. What does he do? Raise your hand if you know.
to try it.
Okay, there's a lot of people who've been to the drug dealer. Usually there's one timid person about it. Yeah, he lets you try it, right? He gives you a taste. He's got the best marketing strategy ever, right? He gives you a taste. He gets you hooked. He makes you an addict. You go back. Oh, he knows he's got you. Is he giving it to you free again? No. He's charging you and you don't care because you love what he did, right? So my point is we need to be more like a drug dealer. We need to give our clients a taste, right? Make them an addict, give them a taste, and then charge them for it. Trust me, it works. Okay, so now you're drug dealers, okay? By the end of this class, you might be something else. We might get there, we may not, you never know. Some people like to stay at the drug dealer stage.
There's some nuns that come and all have to be careful.
Right. Better be careful what you say.
What if you leave the brush in the stuff, like you accidentally just drop it in the bowl, like?
It's fine, it's gonna have a little more product on it, okay? I am gonna show you guys, just for chuckle's sake, I'm gonna show you what you shouldn't do, okay? We're gonna overuse the product here real quick. I'm gonna show you what you shouldn't do, but if you do this, you'll know how to get out of it too. All right, so you got this section that's kind of dry, you feel like you need to scoop that product up. You're not applying color, but you forget for a minute and you think you're applying color. So you scoop a bunch up on your bristles, and you can see it, but you should never do. And you go to town. And then you realize, whoops, shouldn't have done that, right? So you're combing, and anytime you see product on your comb, you use too much, okay? So if you do that, it's okay. Don't freak out. Take your next section, bring it down, mirror your sections together until you don't see that again, okay? So you're still going to use your bristles because you've still got product on this, okay? You're still going to work your bristles down. And until I don't see product on my comb again, I'm going to keep doing that, okay? Because that product will move, so there's still a little product on my comb. Okay, I did put a good helping of that on there, okay?